It's raining out, but I can do a quick channel recap for all you newbies that have come to this channel. I've said this numerous times in the past, but you know what? There's 1,000 people plus coming here every day or two, non-stop. And just so all you new people know, I've never invited anybody here once. I've never said subscribe, share, and like and all that other stuff. I've never said that once anywhere about this YouTube channel. The people that have seen these things, when it comes to the Sasquatch topic, not including the hunting or the angling, but when it comes to the topic of the Sasquatch beings and people who have seen these things, intelligent, honest, hardworking people who have seen these things, they're looking for answers. They're looking for somewhere to share it. They're looking somewhere to get their credibility back and their self-respect back if they feel they've lost it. And that's what I'm pursuing, sharing these stories with all you for. I'm being an outlet for these people to email me their stories and have me share them publicly, which they're requesting me to, all right? So, meanwhile, a lot of people are, there'll be a handful of people out there accusing me of clickbaiting and looking for likes and follows and subscribers and all that other jazz, when it's just not the case. And if any of you are familiar with some of the social media pages I do have and co-run, I think we've got Howtohunt.com. ProGuy66 is my personal page. I had to form that because my friend list on my personal page is past 5,000. There's like 5,500 friend requests on there, so I try to get everybody to hit the ProGuy66 page because it's unlimited. So I got those two pages, Howtohunt.com, Blacktail Deer Hunting. There's something like 24,000 people on that page alone. Stillwater Fly Fishing, there's thousands of people there. What else? I think there's one called Boost Monsters, Turkey Hunting. Everything totals up, well, just the social media pages alone totals up, I don't know, 50,000 people plus. And you can research it. I have never shared or even made mention of one of these Sasquatch experience videos that I'm telling on the YouTube channel. I've never shared one of these videos on any of those social media pages once. Not once, all right? Reason being is because those pages are for the topics that are being covered by them. Outdoor knowledge, hunting and fishing, angling knowledge, okay? And I share the Sasquatch encounter sightings on my YouTube page because that's where the people request me to share them. Now, one thing I've mentioned, I don't know how many times, is I'm not a Sasquatch Bigfoot researcher. Never have been. I've been a professional hunting guide for over 20 years, and I went 100% success in those years, okay? At one point in time, about 5 or 6 years ago, I put my skills towards seeking these things out intentionally, and it didn't take too long, and I basically had my ass handed to me, and I've dropped it, and I left it alone. I'm good. I only did that for me. Man, where to start? Where to go with this? So, but getting back to what I was, the recap of the channel. So the other day I shared a video, I shared a handful of photographs on there, and apparently one of it is from a popular cutout that's being sold somewhere. I didn't know, but it doesn't matter if I didn't know or not. The point is, before I even created that video, I made it clear to everyone, I don't give a shit about photographs. I don't care. Photographs don't make a difference. I don't know anything about most of them. I don't care. I don't even have the energy to Google. I've never Googled Sasquatch or Bigfoot photos in my life. Because what I'm trying to say to everybody is, once you've seen one of these things, everything changes, and you start to see the bullshit very, very clearly. The bullshit that discredits this topic smoothly, easily. You know, getting to the social media pages. How many times is that going to be done? How many times is somebody going to start a social media page about Bigfoot Sasquatch, and you're going to take a 2-second glance at it, and you're going to see all of those clown memes riddled all through it, the world's best hide-and-seek player, on and on and on. For all you know, all of you that do that and don't get it, all you are doing is feeding the fire discredit for this topic. That's all you're doing. You're making a mockery of it, you're making jokes about it, and trust me, if you haven't figured out yet, the social media pages for these things have been done a dozen times. You're not doing anything new, and it's not getting anywhere. It's not getting you anywhere. It's not getting anybody anywhere. And what else? Researchers. You know, it's so funny. You know, it's so funny. The majority of the very, very intelligent people I know who have a shit pile of knowledge on this topic, almost every single one of them says, I'm not a researcher and I'm not a member of any research group. Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think the majority of the intelligent people out there who are interested in this topic, one of the first things they say is, I'm not a Sasquatch researcher? Why do you think that is? I'll tell you why that is. It's because the majority, not all of them, but the majority of the people out there call themselves a Sasquatch or Bigfoot researcher are basically about 90% emotionally challenged. And that's so easily proven. And there's another reason why I'm coming forward with these stories. It's because the topic has been so saturated with all these people who want to apparently be some kind of a first when it comes to the apparent first discovery of these beings or whatever they think they're doing. They want to be noted as the, quote, real researcher. I get better content than anybody. I work harder. I'm out in the field more than anyone. How come nobody follows me? I'm a real researcher. And the second they see any name come up associated with this topic, their hackles go up and they go into attack mode, which is absolutely frickin' embarrassing. And they continue to A, act about as smart as a pickle, and B, get nowhere. They're getting nowhere, all right? Teach their own. If you want to be a Sasquatch researcher, that's fine. Whatever floats your boat. But what I'm doing is I'm actually helping you people, believe it or not. I'm like the coach. I'm like the coach that's shitting on the shitty player. That's the position I'm in right now. All right. And one thing. All right, listen. As I said before, nothing scripted. I just put up the camera and let it rip. I got about 10 million thoughts in my head that all want to come out at the same time, and staying on track with the one not branching off is kind of challenging at times. But I want you guys to understand something. Is out of the literally thousands, I'm encroaching on 10,000 emails from people who've seen these things. The far majority of the people emailing me are very, very educated, very intelligent people. Numerous first responders, numerous military, numerous career military people, numerous people in the military with high-level security clearance. Those are the people that are emailing me nonstop with absolute credible testimonies and experiences they are asking me to share, and now the majority are saying use my name. Now I want you to take a look at the obvious. I'm just going to point it out. How many of these high-level, high-security military types, first responder types, do you see running around the forest with a video camera, videotaping and obsessing and staring at tree twists, tree breaks, structures, and footprints non-stop for years? How many? How many of those people do you see who are running around the forest making channels about how awesome of a researcher they are? They're filming these tree structures and gifting and pebbles and shit, and they're doing it non-stop. That's all they're doing. They're doing it non-stop. And then to top it off, they're claiming to be the best and the only authentic one out there doing it. And then they're absolutely attacking other people whose names might come up in the topic and might be getting more followers than them. Do you see what I'm getting at? This topic is saturated with individuals like this that are doing these stupid things. And, to each your own. You want to go and run around the woods and videotape the forest and claim every second branch is a Sasquatch, go ahead, give her. Who cares? It's harmless. I don't care. But to help you researchers out that are doing that nonstop, just so in case you missed the memo, there's groups of very intelligent people out there who have acquired over 110 DNA samples from around the world. It's been done. They did it. Do you know how far past videotaping tree structures and footprints in the mud? Do you realize how much more advanced that true research is? Do you? Do you understand? You're staying here focusing on branches and trees leaning and footprints, and you're so not in the game, you're not even in the parking lot yet if you really want to get to the bottom of the answers when it comes to this topic. You're not even in the parking lot when it comes to being in the game. Think about it. Now, of the group of highly skilled, highly intelligent people that acquired those DNA samples, not one of them is running around focusing on piles of sticks and branches and footprints in the ground. Not one of them. They did that years ago. They're up there now. They're up there with the scientists, with the DNA, with the proof. Okay? That's where the real true game is. And that's probably another reason why the majority of people who are very intelligent and have a lot of knowledge on this topic, they always say flat out, I'm not a researcher, okay? You see? Now, many of you people attacked, there was a handful of people that apparently probably went out and attacked me because of the photographs I shared the other day, the photographs that I stressed in the video I didn't give a shit about and didn't know anything about, and I still don't really care about it. Actually, I don't care, obviously. Just as another blatant example, somebody tags me in a post on Instagram as an example. With one photograph that I shared the other day on social media, and goes to attacking me and scathing, insulting attack. And then I'm like, who the hell is this clown? And sure enough, it's somebody who has a Bigfoot channel, and all of their videos are running around videotaping trees and sticks and shit stacked on top of each other, time and time again. And they're claiming to be a real researcher and how they are out there the most and they're the best, and on and on and on. Typical, classic, there you go. Yet another person doing what they don't understand. What they're doing is helping discredit this topic, and they've trashed, let's face it, if you're a researcher right now, researchers have trashed credibility of researchers. It's almost to the point now, because of you emotionally bent people, that it should be almost to the point of being embarrassing to tell anybody you're a Sasquatch researcher today, because of the crazy horseshit you guys are doing. It's amazing. Attacking people, attacking each other, trying to discredit people, making videos about people, getting uber jealous about people who have more followers than you. Getting seething angry about somebody with a popular YouTube channel, and you keep going back to it. What is wrong with you? Quit being so frickin' stupid. Now, for all of you people out here that are truly seeking out real factual knowledge about these frickin' things, these beings, the number one way you gain true first-hand knowledge is by seeking out people who have it, people who have seen what you're interested in. So for me, especially from what I've been learning with all these emails as well, what I've seen over years, I sit back in the shadows watching this embarrassing shit show go on social media when it comes to Bigfoot. If you really want to gain knowledge and understand, you need to seek out the people who have seen these things, and you need to talk to them. That's the multiple witnesses. That's who you need to speak to. So a lot of you people, they're going to get angry when I say this, but I'm actually helping you. If you think that these things need to be recognized so they can be protected from us, you're probably on crack. If you think they are a monkey or a gorilla, you're misinformed, or you are a so-called researcher who is blatantly lying. And you're probably on crack. You know, the high intelligence of the people communicating me with their experiences is off the chart. Every single one of them. Every single one of them is absolutely intelligent. And not one of them has told me that they saw a monkey or a gorilla. Not one of them. We're talking thousands of emails, thousands of encounters. Not one of them has said it was a monkey or a gorilla, okay? What's that telling you? 100% of them said it was more human than it wasn't. 100% of those people said that. Now you tell me, you find out why. The people, the faces who have the most lens time on television, all of them tell you it's a monkey or a gorilla. You tell me that. Figure that one out, and you'll figure out who's being credible and who's lying to you pretty quick. Okay? That's a fact. What I think I'm going to do now, because there's so much traffic here, there's a road right over there, and there's a couple cars coming. It's a bit of an interruption. It takes a while for them to go scoot by to get the motor sound out of the shot here. So I'm going to let a camera go for a while so you can see this crazy backdrop, and then I'm going to share a story or two with you, but I think I'll do it when I get back to the office, because I actually got homework to do today, and I'll set up the proper audio, and I will share one or two stories with you guys after this, and I'll just lay the audio on top of this scenic backdrop for you to see while you can hear these people's experiences. All right? But anyways, in the end, whatever you take from this channel, from these videos I put together, whatever you can get out of them, number one, I hope it helps you. Okay, that's what it's about. What I'm doing is 100% for the people who have seen these things that are confused and need to speak the truth and not be ridiculed or scoffed at, and be shown respect from other like-minded people. Okay, will I share photographs again in the future? I don't know, why not? I guess so. I mean, I bet since I posted that video a few days ago, I probably received 50 frickin' photographs in my emails. 50. It's crazy. And, you know, and getting back to the sticks and the structures and shit. No, I wouldn't go there. But anyway, I'm gonna take this camera right here, and I'm gonna do a 360. I'm gonna give all of you a little bit of a legend about where I'm standing and what's going on just right here where I am. It's a little overwhelming when it comes to this topic, but unfortunately it's all fact. Okay? Now, watch this. So, this is Lillooet Lake. I'm at the head of it. This is the Lillooet River dumping into the lake. This valley drains and goes around the corner and drains into Harrison, British Columbia. And if any of you are familiar with this topic, Harrison is one of the epicenters for Sasquatch sightings. Up there, right up there, is where I made these other videos previous in the summers from up there. A few years ago, a Sasquatch went right through a yard on the other side of those bushes, First Nations home, in front of 4 adults. The 3 outdoor dogs ran into the house, scared shitless. Screams were heard from way up there, all the way across the valley, and getting answered to and back and forth up there in that timber for a week afterwards. And 15 and 17-inch footprints were found along this riverbank right here, up and down the river here. I couldn't even begin to count how many sightings have been down on those mountains right there. Twin ones down there, up to the left. A friend of mine, 9 people ran into one up there. Another friend of mine ran into one up there, working on a ski tour cabin. Where else? Okay, that hill back in there, that's the hill where that Sasquatch came off, right in front of my farrier. Native First Nations communities up there. There's been literally dozens of sightings in there. Up here, the mountain goats are typically up there. One was chased by something large into a yard of a house about 2 miles that way, where it stood inside the timber as the thing panted in the front yard of a house. It's basically, it's endless. It's endless, endless, endless where I live, and right here especially, right where I'm standing. It's just non-stop. Go figure. Okay, so I'm back, and before I get going reading these 2 experiences that were emailed into me, I keep forgetting to mention, you know, it's like when I said earlier, if you really want the answers, if you really want to know what honestly is going on out there, especially with these things, you have to listen to the people, right? Now, where I would steer you to listen to honest people's experiences that are not edited or left out or messed with in any way, definitely listen to Wes Germer with Sasquatch Chronicles. I actually was on there. I talked to Wes on the phone earlier, a bunch of months back, and we spoke again. I said I'd get back on there eventually. I just haven't had any time, but we'll reconnect for sure. But you know, one thing Wes is doing is, and he's not a Sasquatch researcher. He's not in that group. He's supplying a way to let people speak and treat them with respect. It's perfect. And you can gain a bunch of knowledge on your own just from listening to all those people on Sasquatch Chronicles. And I think I had another one forwarded to me, Dixie Cryptid, I think. He had that guy named Mike on there that emailed me a while back. He's another one. He's sharing people's experiences, and he's just reading them the way they wrote them down. And it's as honest as you can get. All right? So there's a handful of other avenues out there for everybody to listen to, for sure. Either I'm forgetting, I don't have time right now, or I'm not aware of them. But if I could steer you to some credible people that are offering up a platform to share their honest experience with confidence, they're doing it. And bravo to them. All right? So here's one. I just cracked open this email a little while ago. Apparently my email's not taking emails anymore. Scott Carpenter messaged me on social media. Gave me the heads up. I tried to delete a bunch. I don't know what's going on there. I'll have to figure it out.
shortly. But I did get this one email, and the guy, it's a short one, and he sent in a pretty crazy sketch with it too. And I think it's interesting enough to share here, so here we go. 6 Air Force, this is exactly how the text starts and ends with this one. 6 Air Force service members at about 8,000 to 9,000 feet, 1985. I drew this picture. This guy was no less than 8 foot tall, 400 to 500 pounds, and in great health, jet black. We were that close. His stare was enough to pull your man card right out of your chest. And we were young, strong, armed, and agile. He was massive. This was not something we wanted to see. We surprised it from behind. We were ridge walking. It was under a tree with its back to us, overlooking a canyon. It seemed to be watching 2 brightly clothed hikers off in the distance. It was startled when one of our group yelled, "What the F is that?" It stood up and faced us, peering from behind a tree. The stare down seemed like forever, and then it turned and disappeared over the far side of the ridge, but did not leave. We caught it peeking at us over some rocks. Its head shined in the midday sun, but eventually slinked away out of sight. We recklessly got up the mountain, an adrenaline-filled dash out of the backcountry. And that's it. And he offered up this sketch. Pretty interesting. And you can see how the being screwed up, he was probably so intense, focused on the people down below, he gave up his back trail by accident. But here we go. Here's another one. Here's one more, and then I have to get out of here so I can rip down to Washington and meet up with Dave and the gang. So here's another one for you guys. How's it going, brother? My name is Jose Carrion. Carrion? I apologize if I pronounce it wrong. Carreon. I'm a career patriot. I've served over 25 years in local, state, and federal government, and I am a veteran, also a hunter. I have always been a field person, and I have always enjoyed it. Most of my career was working law enforcement and EMS. I can go on about my service, but that's not the point. I've never believed in Bigfoot or all this other stuff, or even have given anything any thought at all. I just enjoyed the field. I have always been a believer in Christ until I met someone in church that gave me new thought in my belief process. It made sense, and it also opened doors that I never would think of. I personally have never seen the Sasquatch, but I've seen other things that I don't discount, and I don't discount he exists. I've met other agents and civilians that have seen these things, and I've been with people that have denied right to my face after seeing the same thing together. People are afraid. They don't want to know the truth. Ephesians 6:12 says, "For what we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places." So with that being said, I knew a guy that recorded a Bigfoot on a thermal camera along the U.S.-Mexico border south of Sells, Arizona. He said as he called out Border Patrol agents to chase this one subject running south for capture, he noticed that this person dwarfed the mesquite trees and covered an amount of terrain that no person can possibly cover in that short amount of time. He was observing from about 10 miles away and lost sight of it as it ran south towards Mexico. I believe him. I've seen lights that quickly disappear into space. A partner and I were giving chase to a large group of people in the San Rafael Valley around 2 a.m., and something big and human-shaped swooped down at us and went straight for me. I know this because as I hit the deck and swung my M4 round, it passed and flew off. My partner was like, "What the F was that?" I had no clue, and I certainly know it wasn't an owl. In the daylight hours, my partner asked me if I knew what it was, and I told him I hadn't a clue. So we just kind of shrugged it off, but I knew in my head it was something big. One night, my journeyman and I were checking a sensor activation along the border. As we got there, my JM told me just to stay put and listen up for the follow-up sensor, and then we'll go after him. So as I sat there, the follow-up sensor hits, and I looked towards the area with the naked eyes, and I noticed a light about a mile out. I grabbed the night vision goggles, NVG, and started scanning the area, but for some reason nothing's showing on my NVGs. So I grabbed the thermal scope and look again, but nothing. I sit there trying to figure out what's going on, and all of a sudden this light ascends upward very slowly, hangs in the midnight sky, and just shoots into space. I swear I'm not making this up. I don't think these things happen for no reason, and I know now I am awake. I hope not to run into a Bigfoot. I am planning on a solo trip next month to look for a downed World War II aircraft in the White Mountains, and I'm rethinking my backpacking strategy. I have never feared being alone walking in the dark, chasing drug smugglers or traffickers, but I'm now wondering. I'm looking into buying a GPS locator and a bag of apples. Joke, man. Often I've been in the Arizona mountains alone, and I'm never afraid, but I've been in situations where I felt something watching me or telling me to get out of the area. I always follow my sixth sense. So anyways, stay safe, keep up the good work, and God bless you. Well, thanks for your story, Jose. And I don't tell you for a second, man. Obviously, things are going on, and always have been going on, actually. And they are reported from numerous credible people, especially people like you who have worked in law enforcement and military. You know, it's not crazy. Nothing's crazy to me anymore. It's just I'm more concerned about the big picture. You know, why we're being misled, why we're not shared this information openly. It's quite the mystery while you try to figure out who it is that needs all of this power and how are they benefiting. That's what where my brain is a lot of the time lately. But anyway, getting back to these things being scary, and I see a handful of people that want to have the warm and fuzzy narrative for these beings, and that's fine. But the fact of the matter is, not all of these things we don't know about are friendly, fuzzy stuffies, okay? Living stuffies. It's just the way it is. People's dogs don't get torn in half and thrown on their porch for nothing. Their horses don't get their heads caved in for nothing, you know? Their houses don't get beat on for nothing from warm, fuzzy, living stuffies. And that is a fact. And those are facts that have to be shared with the public. When infants, children, and canines, and all animals, all life, goes into full-on terror when these things are around, you would be a very special level of stupid to ignore those facts. But anyway, this is a bit of a long one. For all you people listening to this in the podcast, if you're interested in the sketches or the background scenery that I put down while I'm narrating these experiences, go have a look on the YouTube. And this will be it until I come back from Washington. And I'm going to hook up with Dave. We're probably going to do a couple hours on our own on the video cameras for everybody here. And I think Rich Germeau might be nearby there too. I'm going to see if he wants to come out and have a bullshit session with me as well. And I think that would be pretty interesting too. So there you go. There's a couple more. There's a bunch of facts and no shortage of babbling. Before I get out of here, I want to do something real quick. I just received a package in the mail from somebody who's so freaking kind of stupid. And just came having you open it up, and it is from Community Coffee Company, Port Allen, L.A. What's that, Louisiana? Let's crack it open. Let's crack open this package. How kind is this? Like, seriously, how kind is this? I haven't tried it yet. Family-owned community coffee. Breakfast blend, medium roast. Check that out. How freaking kind is that? How kind is that? These people email me and said they want to send me some coffee. I'm like, go ahead and give her. Of course I'm going to drink your coffee. I'll try it out tomorrow morning. And just so you'll know, I already pre-checked to make sure it didn't say BFRO on it or Sasquatch research or something.